Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the news cycle on Global TV live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Chidima Jawasin. The federal government has instructed that Nigerians with expired passports who are planning to return to the country to celebrate the Yuletide be allowed in without any hindrance. In a letter dated 22nd December 2023 by the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS), Wura Ola Adepoju, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, through the Office of Assistant Comptroller General, Border Management, the NIS asked that Nigerians be admitted into the country with their expired Nigerian passports. In view of this, all Nigeria embassies and high commissions are advised to give this directive the highest publicity it deserves. Consequently, a help desk has been directed to be opened for all Nigerians in this category and directed same to passport offices where the passports will be reissued within a maximum of 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has disbursed 25 million naira to 250 elderly men and women from the 25 local government areas of Delta State. The cash presentation through the Renewed Hope Initiative under the Elderly Support Scheme was held on Friday at the Government House in Asaba, Delta State. The wife of Delta State Governor Tobore Obore-Wori, who represented Tinubu at the event, also provided clothing, materials, and free medical checkups to the elderly citizens as support for the gesture. In her address, Tinubu expressed joy at the inaugural edition of the Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme themed Better Days Ahead. Away from the State House, a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, on Friday was released from the Kuje Correctional Center after meeting up with his bail condition. The spokesperson for the Kuje Correctional Center, FCT, Adamu Duza, confirmed the development to our correspondent on Saturday. The Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja had granted 300 million naira bail to Emefiele, who is being prosecuted for alleged procurement fraud. Away from the court, the Nigeria Customs Service Board, chaired by the Minister of Finance, Wali Edu, has confirmed the appointment of 2 Assistant Comptrollers General and the promotion of 2,209 senior officers in a statement issued on Friday by the National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Maywada. The appointment officers confirmed as substantive members of the NCS management team are ACG Florence Ogamode and ACG Queen Ogbubudu. The Comptroller General NCS Bashiru Adeni congratulated the newly appointed and promoted officers. The customs boss equally urged the officers to put in more efforts to ensure revenue generation, trade facilitation, and suppression of smuggling. And now in Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has presented 25 ambulances to all local government areas, several tertiary institutions, and firefighting vans to the state's fire service in Lokoja. This was aimed at enhancing the efficiency of the state's health sector and facilitating prompt emergency response. Additionally, the governor allocated 40 SUV cars and 4 Hilux vans to the state's lawmakers and judges during a brief ceremony on Friday in Lokoja, the state's capital. Governor Bello highlighted that the autonomy granted to the legislature and local government was designed to bolster service delivery. He said that the judiciary, legislature, and local government had enjoyed autonomy under his administration. And now in Gombe, the Gombe State Police Command has on Saturday warned against the sales of knockouts, fireworks, unauthorized use of siren, covered number plates, and removal of motorcycle silencers. According to a press statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Mahid Abubakar, the decision is part of the command's effort to intensify security to ensure the safety and well-being of citizens during the Yuletide celebrations. He disclosed that the measures were the Commissioner of Police Hayatu Usman's proactive approach to prevent criminal activities and maintain relative peace for a hitch-free celebration across the state. The CP charged various police officers, including heads of departments, area commanders, tactical commanders, MOPOL commanders, and divisional police officers to ensure early deployment of their personnel to strategic locations comprising worship centers and other public places. You're now watching the news cycle live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, LPG marketers demand the implementation of zero duties on cooking gas imports. The news continues shortly with details of these and more stories right after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle. Thank you for staying with us. The government of Guinea announced that petrol distribution would resume today, 5 days after supplies were suspended following an explosion and fire at the West African nation's main fuel depot, which left at least 23 dead. The population has been without petrol since Monday, paralyzing large parts of the economy. Demonstrations in the capital Conakry on Wednesday and Thursday occasionally fled into clashes between security forces and groups of young people demanding the restoration of petrol supplies to service stations. The supply of diesel had resumed on Wednesday, but not of petrol. The fire at the depot in Kaloum, district of Conakry near the port, has still not been extinguished, and firefighters continue to battle the flames. A total of 10,337 people were affected by the destruction, according to the government. And now in Israel, Israel has pressed its Gaza offensive on Saturday, with Hamas authorities reporting heavy shelling in several cities hours after world powers demanded more aid be allowed into the besieged Palestinian territory. The Hamas-controlled health ministry said 18 people were killed in a strike on a house in Nuseirat refugee camp in central Gaza, as other targets were hit up and down the strip. The health ministry in Gaza, which the Islamist movement Hamas has ruled since 2007, said more than 400 people had been killed in Israeli bombardments over 48 hours. The latest violence comes after the UN Security Council approved a resolution demanding immediate, safe and unhindered deliveries of life-saving aid be rushed to Gaza at scale. Flags on public buildings flew at half-mast Saturday, and masses were scheduled across the Czech Republic for a day of national mourning after a deadly shooting at Prague Charles University, the worst in the country in decades. A 24-year-old student opened fire at the Faculty of Arts on Thursday, killing 13 people and then himself. Another person died in hospital later on. The gunfire sparked frantic scenes of students running from the attack. Tearful students have lit thousands of candles at makeshift memorials at the Faculty of Arts and the university headquarters nearby. The gunman also wounded 25 people, including 3 who were hit by bullets in the street as he fired from a balcony. And now in Israel, and now in business, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has lifted ban on transaction in cryptocurrencies, saying banks and other financial institutions can now provide services to cryptocurrency exchanges and dealers, also known as virtual assets providers, VAPs. Accordingly, the CBN said financial institutions are now permitted to open accounts for VAPs provide designated settlement accounts and settlement services, act as channels for foreign exchange flows and trade, and render any other activity that may be permitted by the CBN from time to time. The CBN, however, said that bank accounts opened by VAPS cannot be used for cash withdrawal and third-party check. Meanwhile, as the Central Bank of Nigeria's December 18, 2023 deadline approaches for the registration of the bank verification number, the number of registered Nigerians has hit 59.9 million. This is according to the latest BVN registration data update released by the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System. The most recent NIBSS data issued in September showed that the number of registered BVN stands at 58.7 million as of September 12, 2023. While registration for the number has been delayed since the beginning of the year, the Central Bank of Nigeria's recent statement that all bank accounts without a BVN would be frozen beginning in April 2024 has pushed the BVN database a little higher. With the most recent statistics of 59.9 million, this indicates that over 1 million new BVNs have been registered in the last 3 months. And now in sports, the national president of the Nigeria Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas (LPG) Marketers, Oladapo Olatubosun, criticized the Nigeria Customs Service for its alleged reluctance to enforce the presidential directive on zero import duties for gas items, including imported LPG. Expressing dissatisfaction, the national president pointed out that despite the circular from the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, instructing the relevant agencies to comply with the directive, the Nigeria Customs Service has not yet fully embraced the implementation. Olatubosun disclosed this concern during a conversation with reporters. He highlighted that many of their members with imported items currently held at the port are incurring demurrage costs. These additional expenses, he emphasized, would eventually be passed on to end users, leading to high costs for consumers of LPG. This outcome, he noted, would defeat the intended purpose of reducing prices. And now in sports, Anthony Joshua is set to continue his comeback with his third fight of 2023 and will be keen to get another victory when he faces Swedish heavyweight Otto Wallin 5 p.m. today in the main event of the Day of Reckoning card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. After securing consecutive victories over Jermaine Franklin in April and Robert Helenius with a 7th-round knockout in August, Joshua is now gearing up to face a tough challenge in Wallin, who has proven himself as a formidable opponent, especially with his southpaw stance. The only defeat on Wallin's record to date came in 2019 against Tyson Fury in between the Gypsy King's first and second meetings with Wilder. Fury won by unanimous decision, but the Swedish heavyweight certainly made it a harder night than expected for the lineal champ. It promises to be exciting as two successful boxers of Nigerian descent, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, may possibly do a World Championship bout on March 9th in 2024. In a statement issued on Saturday, renowned boxing promoter Adrian Ogun said since both former heavyweight champions equally lay claim to their Nigerian heritage, boxing fans in the country will be excited to see their compatriots compete for glory on the global stage. Adrian, however, noted that two important fights will determine if the two Nigerians will have the rare opportunity of fighting for world honor in March next year. Still in sports, Napoli, the Serie A champions, made a significant announcement on Saturday regarding Nigerian international forward Victor Osimhen. The club revealed that Osimhen has agreed to a contract extension binding him to Napoli until 2026. The announcement was made through Napoli's social media platforms, where the club posted a picture capturing Osimhen signing the new deal alongside club owner Aurelio De Laurentiis. Victor and Napoli together until 2026 The caption read, solidifying the club's commitment to retain the sought-after player. That's where we round up the news cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidinma Jawesin, thanking you for watching. I'll see you again.